You're listening to the Smash Bros. Cast, episode 27. I'm your host, N64 Josh. Player 2, my sparring partner, Nightcrawler. What's up, man?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good. It's going good. I've been so hyped. It's like Christmas, because player 3 is VikkiKitty. What is going on?
Hi, Josh. How are you?
We're Brady Bunching it now.
It's always mirrored. How are you guys? So happy to be back.
It's like an episode of the Brady Bunch. That was the best thing ever. So, before we get started, guys, you want to get yourself a free book from Audible, go to audibletrial.com/SBC. Pick up something awesome like Console Wars. The chair I'm sitting in is from OP Seat. Go to n64josh.com/OP Seat. You'll save $10 at checkout. They're awesome chairs. I love them. Okay, we do this show live on twitch.tv/N64Josh, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Fridays, and you can also listen to it iTunes, Google Play, and if you want to watch it, it's on YouTube, and then the show notes, which have everything if you want to listen, watch, whatever, n64josh.com/SBC27. That's it. That's all the announcements. We have one little thing we have to get to before we can start talking to VikkiKitty, and that is Crawler.
Yo.
How many days? Wait, we got to play a little fun music here.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm waiting for my music.
Here's the cue. The other music hasn't stopped yet. We went so quick through the intro that the song's just still going. So, we're doing it live. Here we go. Here's the countdown to Smash. How many days, Crawler?
All right, today is September 21st, and it is the first day of fall.
Yep.
And that means that we are in the season that Smash comes out. We are 76 days away from Smash.
Oh, man.
Always getting closer. I'm actually excited because I'm less than, I'm 9 days away from getting to play Smash. Because I'm gonna go on Sunday next weekend.
You got to take that fancy new phone and get a bunch of video. So
yeah. Yep.
You're gonna be able to play Ultimate?
Yeah, I'm going to the Colorado Best Buy stop.
Oh, that's right, the Best Buy stops. I thought you were about to say you were going to go to Big House, which is a tournament. I was like, oh, I mean, hey, me too.
You should also do that, Crawler. I'm sure
it's my wife's birthday weekend. I probably can't get away for that one.
Oh, yeah, no. You would never be able to escape that in terms of excuses. You can't do that. Even for old
it's already bad enough. I told her I'm going to go away on the day after her birthday to go wait in line at Best Buy. So hopefully it's not as long as Chicago and New York. So.
Oh, man. Yeah, I heard about those nightmares.
Yeah.
Lines are insane. For
sure. So, Vicky.
Yes.
You have been a guest on my other podcast, the Nintendo Powercast, and we had an amazing time. Probably the most feedback I've gotten from any episode. Just like she had so much energy and brought so much hype. So we had to have you. We had to have you on the Smash Bros. Cast. I mean, you're all about Smash Bros. Right?
Yeah. Just about. I mean, I eat, breathe, do everything Smash related. Like. I also have like this Nintendo pillow. I think I showed this to you last time. I have like an ultimate flag that's set up behind this monitor, which I'm not going to turn the camera on for, but it's there. I have, just basically just about, that's just my life. That's my hobby and my job all at the same time, aside from just esports aside. I do other games, but Smash is just everything I revolve around.
So speaking of other games, at the last time we chatted, I said, hey, you got to play Super Metroid. Like you gotta play it, and then you did, and you played it all the way through to completion. There's highlights. I'll try to get a link to the final run.
I have it highlighted on my Twitch actually for the very last clip.
What'd you think?
So that game at first when I first started playing, I was like, there is no way in the 90s. That a child was able to even get a quarter through this game. Like, I am 22 years old, and I needed help. I didn't use a guide. I did not use a walkthrough. Everything was blind. The only help I got were from my viewers who didn't even backseat game. They were just hinting at the things I should do. Hey, try shooting at the block. Why would I shoot at the... Oh, damn. Okay, so this is how you do things. The beginning of the game was super hard until I started getting the tools that I needed to, like, the vision to look through the blocks. That helped me immediately because that was my biggest problem was where are the hidden puzzle keys? Where are the blocks I'm supposed to shoot? What things am I supposed to shoot these blocks with? Like that was my biggest problem. Then as I started getting tools, I started realizing, oh, this is the habit in the game. You go back to proceed further. That's how you do it. It's like life. You need to set yourself back so that way you can take a leap forward. And I'm like, all right, Samus, Super Metroid definitely teaching me life lessons out here while using some Dark Souls like conspiracy theory together like with the game. I was like, it's okay. Everything hurts. But at least the only boss that gave me trouble, the only boss that took me more than 2 tries to actually beat was Ridley. And I was like, okay. This guy just shows up in Smash, gives Samus PTSD. Then Dark Samus shows up. Like, give this girl a break. And then I named my larvae pet. I named it Bubby. And he was great for 5 seconds. And then suddenly, a horrible turn of events happened. I'm not even going to say it. It was very sad. We had a funeral, basically, in my Discord. Yeah. Like it was a sad moment because all my reaction to the whole thing was so genuine. So I saved the highlight because it was just a roller coaster of emotion. I beat Ridley and I'm like, sweet, I beat the game. And everyone's like, haha, no, you didn't. I'm like, what you mean? They're like, keep playing. I'm like, oh my God. Again, keep playing. And it wasn't hard. And then I almost lost the game with, I think, escaping with what,
0.26.
Yeah, 0.26 seconds left on the clock before the entire planet self-destructed. How did I do that? I have no idea.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
you ran past just a little bit too far on your ship too. You had to like backtrack just a second.
I had to jump because the jump is so high that it sent me so far and I can't see below me. I'm like, oh my God, I passed my ship. Oh my God, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna blow up on this planet. What would have happened? Would I have to restart all that?
Yeah. Well, and you didn't rescue the animals.
I heard about that too, but you know what? The animals didn't help me either, so whatever. I was so mad in that level too. They're teaching me how to wall jump, but guess what? It still took me 45 minutes to learn how to wall jump.
Right. No, but that moment when Bubby, right, Bubby?
Yes,
Bubby. When Bubby sacrifices himself, that's when I was like 12 years old. I was so angry. I was like, 'cause if you watch the very beginning of that game and it's like the black and white, like remembering and everything, you're like, oh, it's like my pet. And then I was like, Dad, my Metroid died. He's like, what is a Metroid? Shut up.
Someone actually linked me a CGI version of that entire fight. And it even brought more feels because Bubby was a face, not just pixels.
Interesting. So, okay, well, we want to take some time before we get into the news and all that kind of stuff. We want to get to know you a little bit better. Like, kind of give us your history with Smash. And I know we did this on my other show, but because some people only listen to one or the other, we're just going to kind of do it again. You know, just
no problem. Yeah. I mean, for those of you that didn't tune into N64's Josh's podcast, which you guys should have, but if you guys didn't though, basically I've been in the Smash community since I want to say like 2015. Been competing since then. Got into commentary around 2016. Was mostly a competitive player locally. Didn't really travel out of the state. My first out of state tournament actually was MLG, which was the tournament that Nairo defeated Zero and ended his, I believe it was 57 consecutive tournament win streak, 57, 52 around there. Nonetheless, it was insane. That was my very first out-of-state tournament. That's when I realized that this is legit. Like, I want to continue doing this. This is super fun. And then didn't really take commentary serious until October of 2016 when a local TO of ours in South Florida asked me to get on the mic. And then from there, was able to travel regionally within the state of Florida. Did some events for MVG, as well as some other events up in Gainesville, as well as Tampa, until I started venturing out of the state of Florida, doing free gigs here and there for VGBC. Did their Glitch, their very first Glitch side tournament, was my very first out-of-state tournament that I was able to commentate at. And then after that, I kind of just started going more nationally after I was able to do my first job with Nintendo at San Diego Comic-Con, where I was able to commentate the 12 and under tournament for kids.
I love it. I could listen to that story all day long.
What's the pinned tweet on your Twitter? What does it say?
I'm the one who sounds like a little boy when I commentate your matches. I think I posted that like in 2016, mind you. It was like that was the common thing. It was like, who is this person on the mic? Well, there's actually a very young player within the MDVA scene. His tag, not even joking here, his tag is Booty King. He was like, at the time when he joined the scene, he was like maybe like 14, maybe even younger than that. And when he would get on the mic sometimes talk, and they're like, who is that talking? Is that Booty King? I'm like, no, surprise! It's not Booty King. It's me. It's funny. I definitely have gotten that online as well, where I'm playing like Overwatch or something, and this little boy was like, "Aren't you supposed to be in school?" I'm like, "No, aren't you supposed to be in school?" So I just make a joke out of it because it's hilarious. You know, it's like suddenly, surprise! It's not that little boy that you definitely thought was behind the mic.
Right. I love it. So, what, like, getting into to doing commentary and stuff like that, like. That's not like an easy road, right? I mean, you've had to like work at this. You've had to grind.
Yeah, as long as you're okay with thousands of people watching you talk about a game. I mean, how I think about it is when I first started getting involved with commentary was I usually like would be a spectator, watch the screen, kind of like fold my arms, think about like what's going on, literally just detailing step by step like what I would do, like fold my arm, talk about it, have some people around from the scene talk about like what's going on the projector. It literally felt like just talking about a game that I enjoy competing in, visually, like seeing certain situations that I'm not ever put into because they're characters maybe that I don't play, mindset that I don't really like have a grasp around, especially as a new coming player. I didn't really understand a lot of decision making that was going into a lot of these plays until I was forcibly like I had to see it on the screen. When I saw it, I was exposed to it, and it became a lot easier to process it. And similar to that, I just was thinking about like, I'm talking to my friend, and I'm talking about this game that I enjoy playing. That just transfer that over to a camera pointing in my direction. And it was difficult in terms of like, you have to get over certain things and like how you deliver to your audience, like who's your audience, who's watching you, who do you want to get involved with the scene. So that's why I actually touch bases on a lot of beginning stuff. Maybe not obviously like the bread and butters of certain things in the game that happens, because that could be something that you could find you're repeating constantly on every broadcast you're on, but more so things that that maybe kids that are watching at home could feel like more in tune to, adults that have no idea what competitive Smash is, stuff like that. And eventually you kind of develop your own style and you find certain paths that help you get along with other commentators, so that way it complements your commentary better.
What was it like the first time you had to do some commentary? Were the nerves like? Did you have any previous like being in front of a microphone, like performing anything like that?
This is gonna sound super weird. I actually was in a drama honor society for like my entirety of high school. Okay. It was called the Thespian Honor Society, and wasn't ever like I never had stage fright. And I didn't have any fright, actually. Did not get any nerves on the mic for like the first half year. And then suddenly, when the viewership started kicking more and more, that's when the nerves started kicking in. I'm talking about like, I lost sleep when they did the ESPN Disney XD broadcast for EVO 2017. That terrified me because they're like, yeah, it's going to be on live television. Don't mess up. And I'm thinking to myself, I could become a meme overnight. And you know what? That's it. It's all over for me. Like, I'm never going to be able to do this. But you know what? Like, I actually lost, like, I couldn't sleep for 4 days before the event, to be quite honest with you. And it was just because it was one of those silly dreams where I like fell asleep and dreamt that I literally showed up to my block without pants. But I ended up solving my problem in the dream because in my head I was thinking to myself, they don't even see my legs, so I'm okay. Like stuff like that. It was really funny, but I couldn't sleep. That was probably the most stressful broadcast I had. So honestly, didn't have nerves until like midway through my commentary career when the viewership started kicking up. But eventually, like, things like, for example, the Smash Brother Ultimate Invitational, where I'm terrified probably for the first, before the next 2 days until the event. And then the day of the event, the moment I get that first sentence out, it kind of becomes just normal. Like, this is a game that I've commentated before. This is a game that I was able to play for a little bit. Just going to do what I do best and just talk about a game that I'm genuinely enthusiastic to see and announce to other people.
Tell us about the prep for the Invitational. Like,
So it was interesting because they didn't let us play the game until the night before.
Yeah.
And what they did was that they when they showed us the game, obviously we were under an NDA. We couldn't talk to anybody. We couldn't have our phones out during the playtime. We any notes that we wrote, they confiscated the notes and they kept it with them overnight. Like it was really, really serious. And it was for 4 hours that they let us play. But in those 4 hours, the commentators were basically like, I want to give, I guess for me personally, because all the commentators were able to do their own style of learning of the game. Me, I like to physically handwrite notes because that's how it sticks with me better. Because, you know, new Pokemon in the game, new assist trophies. You're not talking about just the new characters. We're talking about the casual gameplay as well. Mm-hmm. So we had to go into all the new items, all the items in general, refreshing our memories. Since I don't play with items, I had to go through all the names of the items anyway. All the Pokemon that were in the game, all that stuff, all the new characters, anything changed with the old characters that were being displayed in the demo. That on its own, I wrote maybe 2.5 hours, so I only got an hour and a half of actual gameplay the day before the Invitational. I have been able to play the game a lot more. In total, I want to say 6 to 7 hours in total, with all the other events that Ultimate has been brought to, thanks to Nintendo. But yeah, basically a lot of note-taking, a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, waking up super early, 6 in the morning, and meeting Sakurai.
Whoa.
That was intimidating because it was more so like, I didn't walk up to him to shake his hand before the event. It was like I literally met him as in like we were standing behind the stage, broadcast was about to go live. I'm like kind of like I rock the boat sometimes when I'm just anxious waiting. And I look to my left and Sakurai is just standing there with a mic in his hands. Just standing there. He's maybe like 2 people away from me and I'm like, oh my God. That's my dad. How do I speak? I'm just not gonna speak to him. I'm gonna let him do his thing. And he kind of looks at me for a little bit and then he just looks away again. I'm just like, oh my God, this guy totally thinks I'm so weird right now. I'm not even gonna talk to him anymore. I'm not even gonna bother to introduce myself. But yeah, he was there and I was able to say hi to him afterwards, but nonetheless, like before the broadcast, he was there and I was like, this is real. This is really gonna happen. Like, let's do this.
I'm totally picturing you running at him like Buddy the elf and just tackling him. Crawler.
So when you were your 4 hours that you got before E3, was that with all the competitors there too, or was that just okay? So that was all of you guys playing kind of in one giant room.
Yeah, 2 of the people that actually helped me out the most in terms of like writing notes and little differences. Because the problem with new games and when these players like they get hands-on experience with these games, when they play characters that they have already played in the past games, a placebo effect could happen where you think that maybe something has changed when in reality it hasn't. Maybe the frame data you think is different. So I actually had Nairo and Leffen both helped me out in terms of like mechanics and things that have changed where we actually were able to test them ourselves before like finalizing, yes, this is different. No, this is not different. Yes, this ledge mechanic exists. No, this ledge mechanic does not exist. And I was like, you guys are godsend. Like I was writing, looking, because it was them too. And I was just writing next to them the whole time.
It sounds so awesome. Like I'm sitting here just like super jealous. Like, oh my gosh. Like, cause I mean, we watched the whole thing. We were like, you killed it. Everybody there did such a great job. Like just making that thing run smooth and, seeing all the pros compete, watching Nero go against the,
Oh yeah, the free-for-all. I'm actually so happy that they let him in for that too, because the whole I want to say the main disappointment that a lot of people had when it came to the Invitational was that Nairo wasn't in it, and Nairo was the biggest. I want to say he is the biggest Smash streamer. He is the biggest influencer on the community. Nonetheless, yes, we understand Zero is the best player out there, but Nairo's family, the Naifus, the way that he interacts with his audience, the way that he meets with his fans, the way that he streams religiously, streams Smash, has his own mod pack, pushes his brand on stuff, he, I would say, has the most influence as a player in the Smash 4 community. So that was the most surprising thing, in my opinion, was oh, wow, Nairo's not in this? Even though he's a contestant for a top 3 player in the community as well, it was kind of crazy. So I'm actually really happy that they were still able, because he wasn't originally in their plan to put into the people that were gonna play with against the other people. Like they had the cosplayers, they had the celebrities, or I guess guests. They're not even like, they didn't call it celebrities; they called them like special guests. So it was the cosplayers were special guests, and I believe they had sport guests as well. And Nairo was part of the special guests. So I was like, oh man, like I'm so hyped for this. They even got people from the crowd, I believe, at one point. So I was really excited for him because honestly, he definitely deserved it.
Yeah, it was really.
He's got his own skin now, right? As a mod,
yes.
A mod pack.
Oh my god, that was
he's
so.
He's a Zero Suit Samus.
It was scary because it's scarily accurate. Like it looks just like him. It looks just like him. I was like, what? Like I don't know. Like I think having a Vicky core would be super hype, but I don't know if I could like see myself get hit in the game, like at least probably dragon wings, like. But it was so cool. It looked like a Skyrim mod.
Oh wow, I'll have to look up. Maybe if I can find a clip or something, I can get it in the show notes for us. So, man, oh man. Well, that's awesome. Thank you for just taking the time and sharing that with us, because it's
no, of course. I know
so
it's not
cool.
something that a lot of people like hear hands on, like what's going on, unless like we actively talk about it. I do know, like I retouched on some things when I first started streaming around after the Invitational, and I retouched on some things, but like you kind of lose track of all the details as time passes. So like to recollect your memory and like talk about the whole thing, it was definitely an experience. It was like, shout out to Nintendo for being able to have me out there. Like they gave opportunities to so many players to get on that stage and play the new game, and I had a great time, honestly.
That's great. Well, let's get into our Smash news. There's actually quite a bit this week, and the first and probably biggest announcement was that Armada will no longer be competing in Melee singles, and
that's insane.
It's nuts. I have a link in the show notes, which I can't remember which link is it. Is it a highlight link?
This is his personal address on his YouTube channel. It's like a 13-minute video of him kind of explaining. It's he kind of opens himself up. He makes himself pretty vulnerable, kind of explaining why. He pretty much said that for the last year he just hasn't enjoyed. He hasn't enjoyed it, and he's like kind of just not been hyped to go to any of these events. He is excited, and he pretty much chalked it up to the fact that in life, in sports, in anything, you want to have goals, and he feels like he's hit kind of the top goals that he set for himself, so he has nothing to really strive for anymore. So he has goals that he wants to have for team fights, but other than that, he's ready to hang it up, kind of go out Michael Jordan style. He won at Super Smash Con, right?
Yeah, I do believe so. Yeah.
So kind of hang it up and call it good.
Vicky, what are your thoughts?
So at the Super Smash Con, I do believe like he lost like 2-3 to M2K. But the fact that I think he actually 3-2'd him, like reverse 3-2'd Mewtwo King. So like that was a crazy grand finals. And the fact that he's retiring so soon before Big House being a tournament that mostly focuses around Melee, I can understand where he's coming from, though. Like it's like at a point where you hit a brick wall and you're like, I've done everything I could accomplish in this community. I've taken it above and beyond, made it a career for myself, but I'm not having fun anymore. He does say that he doesn't want to quit doubles, I believe. So I think he actually will be still at Big House, but not for singles. I think he's going to be there for doubles only. I know he's not competing at Summit anymore, though. So I obviously, as somebody who has been mostly like within the Smash 4 scene, I think it'd be very exciting to see his new start maybe establish more goals for Ultimate coming along. I know that it's a very difficult game in terms of differences between what Melee players are used to going into a game like Ultimate, because Ultimate has more so Smash 4 fundamentals, I would say, than Melee. So I think maybe if he still wants to dabble in Smash, if he doesn't want to completely drop it, that could be an opportunity that we would be seeing in December. But there's no promises, because from what it sounds like he really wants to focus more so on like real life stuff.
He's also gunning for your job.
Yeah. That
He wants to commentate a little bit.
That happens with every retired player. But I've actually pitched this multiple times. I don't know if I said it on the podcast last time, but I did when I did an Overwatch event in Taiwan. The way that they had the commentary desk set up was middle person was a host, which in the US it's actually right person is host, but over there in Asia they had middle person as host, right person as commentator, and left person as pro player insight. Now, I liked that setup and actually suggested it a few times at events because what that brings is a professional player giving insight from a professional player point of view. Right. I've actually asked Supergirl Kels to get on the mic with me whenever she can, whenever she's looking for. The thing is, it's like, as somebody who's also playing in bracket as a pro player, you're representing your sponsors, you're representing your team, you're also trying to get results on your own. And as somebody who has tried to split both at the same time, because I do compete at events when I'm allowed to, it is extremely difficult to put your all into one thing if your focus is on another. You have to make sure your blocks don't interfere with your brackets. You have to make sure that like you're able to be okay after losing and getting on the mic. Your head might not be in the right place after. Like, I know that's definitely something my problem. Like, I cannot play, lose, and get on the mic. I need at least 5 minutes in between, like, because you just lost. You're trying to sink in, like, why did I lose? How did I lose? Like, what was it? Because I got outplayed? Was it because of myself? Like, all that stuff comes into mind. And so that's why a lot of these pro players don't make it like a full-time thing where they want to be both pro players and commentators. So that's why you got the entertainers like, EE, TK, they do a really good job at hyping up matches while also adding in a good sense of humor. But then you get players like Zero that you saw at Smash and Splash, he was able to provide a deeper insight to play styles because not only did he play these players at a top level player, but he also has the mindset as a pro player to know what their decision making is going to be, to know what they're going to be going for, in a way where players who are maybe just high level players but not pro level players or even mid tier players won't be able to fully grasp and explain in the best way for an audience to understand. But that also could be a double-edged sword. So a pro player could be discussing things in a way where a casual audience member just won't be able to pick up on it. So it's like why is he talking so fast? What is he saying? What are these situations like all going over their head? Right. So it's like you got to do
especially Zero. Zero just gets going too.
Yeah, he gets super hype. He's super charismatic as well. He was super hype on the mic at Smash. Like, he's also like, since he's Hispanic, I think he does a really good job. Like, I feel that. Like, he does a really good job at keeping the tone and hype in his voice when it comes to like announcing plays. That's why he like when he screamed, everyone was like, "Oh my god, this is hype!" But yeah. Now all these pro players that are retiring definitely keeping their eyes on commentary, and I don't blame them honestly because at the same time they're going to be able to provide that insight that you really wouldn't be getting from another commentator who doesn't play at the level game that somebody like Armada does. And at the same time they're able to get involved in Smash without completely dropping the hobby, which is also why I suggest maybe for all we know he could dabble in Ultimate and actually like it.
For sure.
So speaking of Ultimate, do you think that, I mean, there's maybe 4 heavy hitters kind of left in Melee a little bit now?
Sorry, repeat that. 4?
Like 4 big heavy hitters kind of left in Melee that are still active. Do you think it's
there's a good amount of players still like going pretty ham in the game?
But do you think it's maybe possibly the beginning of the end where people might start taking a look at Ultimate?
I don't know. I don't think so, to be honest. I think Melee's always gonna be there because it's like I whenever I think about Melee, I think about a game like an actual sport game like baseball. Game's been in for so long. They haven't changed anything about the game in forever. Right. And I feel like that's something that Melee has where things like right now, for example, I feel like right now is a perfect like example as to how healthy Melee is doing. Aside from the fact that Armada's not playing anymore, we got new players coming up. We got Zane, like he did some crazy stuff at that past tournament. Like, what was it? Shine? Like it's crazy. It's crazy to see like how we have newcomers actually doing well at these events and not the usual players placing like Mango, Hbox, M2K. Like, no, we have other players involved now. We have Plup doing crazy stuff now. We got Zane. Like, I feel like that's a good, healthy balance. And as well as the fact that they don't have like 1,000 Foxes or 1,000, we have Marth, we got Sheik, we got Fox, then we got Falco. It's like in Smash 4 though, you look at Evo, and the Evo diversity in Smash 4 was way more lackluster than the diversity that you would see in Melee. Or a better example yet would be Shine, when you would see the Shine top 8. I commentated top 8 for Shine. 57 or 52 games played with Bayonetta. In all of top 8. In all of top 8. 52 games. We're talking 4 Bayo Dittos back to back to back to back. 3 out of 5 we're not counting resets. So like it's crazy. Like I was like, okay, this is not looking great right now. Like, I don't mind commentating the character. No problem. My best friend plays the character. I actually play that character more than any other matchup in Smash 4. Absolutely don't mind it. But I could see from a viewer point of view how somebody who maybe doesn't really watch a lot of Smash seeing this and they're like, oh, they're just doing the same thing. When did they land? Like, when did they test the stage? And then you see Melee, and you see a little bit an older game that has more of a diverse top 8, and you're kind of left wondering, like, okay, this is a little bit more exciting. There's different characters. So I don't think Melee is going to be clocking out anytime soon. I know with the absence of Armada is definitely going to shake the community a bit. But I feel like this is going to also open up a new door for a potential new player to rise to the ranks and maybe find that motivation that Armada had and finally completed.
Well, and if some of these new players do really step up and and look, I'm just looking at Deck T puts Zane, Pulp, Leffen. He names a few players. Like, we could have an old gods versus new gods kind of marketing going on in the future.
That would be so hype, actually. I would watch that. I would watch that, actually. That sounds pretty hype. But yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, I really, to be quite honest with you, don't think half these Melee top players are going to even dabble with Ultimate. To be quite honest with you, it's, again, like the example falls back into baseball, where it's like a lot of these players, they like to play the game, they don't like a lot of change. You throw something that's different to them and they just don't like it. They're not very open to the idea of it. They rather set for what's comfortable. I mean, for a game that has been, it's like, this game is almost as old as me, to be quite honest, and it's still going as strong as it is. Like, so if you ask these players, a lot of Melee players, you ask them what their favorite game is. For somebody that's playing a game for that long, and they say Melee, like, you got to be like, okay, like, why is this game that has been out for so long? Why is this game that you've been playing for so long and have not gotten tired of your favorite game? And, you know, more and more people in the community will answer that same question. And then you go to Smash 4 and you ask them, so what's your favorite game? 90% of the community probably will not tell you Smash 4, which is okay. They'll probably have different games that they can favor themselves. Like myself, I know Smash 4 is not my favorite game, but it's in my top 5. Mm-hmm. It's definitely one of the games that changed my life. You know, I like Call of Duty. I like all these other games. And Melee, though, these are diehard fans. Like, Melee is their favorite game, and Melee will be their only favorite game.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, Mr. Cool Red Luigi mentioned it early on when we first started talking about Armada, but, like, he said he made Peach relevant in Melee. Like, I before the show started, I'm like, you know, I want to just kind of brush up on some of his highlights, and watching him with Peach was unbelievable. Just unbelievable. I couldn't believe just the way he would just have his way with Fox. I was like, whoa, it was unreal. It was unreal.
His turnip placements, as well as like his positioning, is just
Yes.
insane. I think that's what really helped him out with Peach, because he would throw things and like place hitboxes in areas where people were just like, okay, I'm gonna make it back to this day. Oh, never mind.
Oh, Deck T says we'll never see Peach again now. Sad face.
Oh, he's not wrong though. He's so right. Like, he is so right. Yeah, I honestly don't think Peach will be up there in the ranks anymore. I mean, I know there's gonna be there's other better not so bad Peach players, but obviously Armada being the best, you're not gonna be seeing her that often.
All right. Well, moving along in Smash news, the new dock and Joy-Cons that are available with the special edition are also, there is a placeholder at Play Asia. We have a link to Nintendo Wire article. So if you really liked the dock, but you kind of thought the Joy-Cons were a little lackluster, like we kind of do, like, you can almost DIY those things with a little bit of masking tape and some spray paint if you want. It's just like 2 lines. But you really liked the dock, you're going to be able to import it from Play Asia. So that's kind of cool, because really with the tablet not having any graphics on the back, the dock is kind of the only thing that's really appealing to me. And I know when we told Vicky, she was like, What?
Yeah, I didn't know that they actually sold the dock and the Joy-Con separately. Like I thought it was just a Switch bundle pack. So now that you told me that they actually have the dock sold separately and then the Joy-Con sold separately, like count me in for the dock. I don't really need the Joy-Cons, but the dock in general looks so cool for the Ultimate design that I'm gonna be checking that link out.
Here's what kills me. Here's what kills me. The Splatoon 2 Pro controller on the sides, the grips are the same colors as the Joy-Cons that they released for Splatoon 2. And when the Pro controller was shown for Smash and it had white grips, I was like, we're getting our white Joy-Cons, right? We're finally getting...
I would have gotten white Joy-Cons if they'd had it come out.
That thing would have been in a no-brainer for me whatsoever. If they had been white Joy-Cons, or the other thing I've been saying is if they had been black, I would have been all about it. Like they just they look smooth.
It's okay. I don't know. Maybe they're thinking. I feel like they're gonna come up with a different design throughout the years to keep the game a little bit more refreshed and keep people buying the bundle packs.
Oh, the beautiful thing with Smash is if the game does very well, which I have no doubt in my mind it's going to, then what we're gonna probably see is, next year, if there's any DLC that drops, maybe the following year we see then the ultimate pack that has everything included. You know what
Everybody,
I mean?
even the DLC. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Where maybe they announce a DLC character, example. This is my dream example, but Kingdom Hearts gets released in January, and then suddenly Sora's in Smash. Oh my God! Buy your Kingdom Hearts Smash influence package here today, and it's a copy of Kingdom Hearts downloadable for the Switch, and then a Kingdom Hearts or Smash with Sora in the cover, Joy-Cons or something. I don't even know. I'm reaching here, but you see why I'm reaching.
I like it though. I like it. So this is a possible leak. Crawler, I'm going to let you take this one, but we want to just let everybody know, fast forward 30 seconds to a minute or whatever. If you don't want any leaks, if you're in here live, we're going to talk about a possible leak. It's just an Echo character for another fighter, but we want to be... I know some people really just want to be surprised. I wasn't super excited when I'm like, oh, cool. That would have been a good surprise.
Yeah, we've talked about it. I think a few weeks ago we've put that out as possible. So go ahead and fast forward just a few seconds here. We'll just talk about it real quick. But the potential leak, I think we've seen a screenshot posted as well of in-game footage. Has Ken from Street Fighter in the game as Ryu's Echo.
So you know what I really hope we see is his stage from Street Fighter with the barrels, in
my Suzaku Castle for Smash 4, I literally only had Ken's theme playing as the background music. I lowered every other song and I just put Ken's theme up because I think Ken's theme is way better. Yeah. I actually, if that's real, if that came out today, is actually true. I actually felt like it is gonna happen. I've read a few lists myself. They all have him in it. And I kind of would see the opportunity to put Ken as Ryu's Echo Fighter. What better character? It would be hype if they added Chun-Li, I'm just saying. But I could definitely see Ken being a better replica for Ryu's Echo Fighter than Chun-Li, for example. So I kind of just saw it coming. It's not so surprising. Although we were talking about this with you guys beforehand. I hate leaks. I don't like leaks at all. My curiosity kills me, but I rather see the genuine reaction. I think you know what? To be honest though, I think even after even if I saw Ken as an announcement, I probably wouldn't even react. I don't think I would react. Not that I wouldn't be hyped. It's just more so I kind of saw it coming.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, it's kind of duh. I mean, it makes sense with all the echoes that are coming out. That's a no-brainer.
Yeah, and I mean, Akuma is also another one, and if they really wanted to throw out the troll Dan, he could be in there as well. So
that'd be wild. That'd be crazy.
Right. So this is some of the best news I heard today. I was really hoping that Nintendo would step up and do this. What we're about to tell you. And they did it. I was so happy. Chris Taylor goes by @Spooky Woobler on Twitter.
Wobbler. I think that's Wobbler. Spooky Wobbler?
And I may have added an extra O. I don't know. But
I'll try to find the Twitter link so we can actually link it in the show notes. But
yeah, I have it. I have it right here.
Do you have it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, it's in our old call, so that's why.
Okay, I'll find it.
But he unfortunately is has terminal cancer, and his basically his dying request was, I just want to play Smash. Like I've been so hyped for this game, and it doesn't look like I'm gonna make it to its release. And Nintendo contacted him on Tuesday and said, "Hey, we're gonna bring a Switch with the E3 demo." And he got to play for 3 hours with his mom, brother, and his friend. And Vicky's face.
That is amazing. You just literally made my entire day. You have no idea. I saw that and I retweeted the post, actually.
Yeah, same.
And I'm like, I really hope they do it. I don't know how strict Nintendo is in terms of like letting people play their product, but this is a special case, and I really hope they do it. And I literally did not know if he was able to play or not. I had no idea, and you just told me right now. And I am so happy. That actually just made my day. Oh my God, I'm so happy for him.
Yeah, and he said, he's like, okay, they contacted me and they said, don't tell anybody we're coming. They don't want, because even having the game in the Switch in route is like, it's
liability.
It's super classified. Everything they do is majorly classified.
Yeah.
Like, they have to go get through walls and walls of permission to do anything.
Right. And so he said, fine, that's fine. And then they showed up today. They played for 3 hours, and then they left. And his Twitter is blowing up. He's very, very happy. So
yeah, he got to play with I think a friend with him, and then his parents were there as well, and 2 reps from Nintendo came. So
yeah,
all the feels.
All of the feels, exactly. So, and we do.
I wonder if they recorded it.
Right? Yeah, it's a good question. He is posting some pictures. There are going to be pictures going up. They may be up as of recording. He was waiting for his mom to send him. That's what he said. Like,
Aww.
I'm just waiting for my mom to send me the pictures. So, yeah. But it is it Spooky Wobbler or Woobler? I don't know. There's 2 O's, right? Did I have it spelled right?
There are 2 O's. Yeah.
Okay.
I actually.
Yeah, and there's some pictures. Yeah, there's some pictures of him in his house playing on a TV with controller in hand with looks like 2 friends.
Cool.
So
We have his Twitter linked here if you want to be able to check him out.
Oh,
and
I
follow
see
him,
it.
so.
Oh, this is amazing. I love it. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's very.
This
cool.
is so wholesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. Really cool.
You guys should definitely check that out, guys. At Spooky Wobbler.
Yeah.
His name is Chris Taylor. He was able to play Ultimate. I don't know if you guys didn't see his thread beforehand, but he really wanted to play the game. Unfortunately, he has terminal cancer, and he just wanted to get his hands on the game before anything could have potentially happened to him before the release date. So I'm actually just so happy to hear that Nintendo was able to help him out. Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool. All right. Well, the Pro Controller bundle was not announced, but they showed the box right after we ended last week's show. And the internet was, all the buzz because there's spaces missing on the
and characters out of order and all sorts of
Wait, on his demo?
haphazard way. No. So
on the Pro Controller
have you seen the box
bundle
art for the Pro Controller bundle?
I've seen it, but like I analyze it. Let me see.
So there's spaces missing. Not all the characters are represented. And there were some people that went into beautiful mind mode and started well, based on this math and all this. I was like, whoa, you guys just math that thing so hard.
Oh, I see exactly what they're talking about.
Yeah, because we're only seeing one side of the end cap of the box that has 6 lines with 6 characters across, and then on the bottom line there's 2 missing spots.
Yeah, I see that.
Obviously, people are thinking Isabel goes in one of those spots, and then the internet goes start thinking. Yeah, but characters are out of order. There's echoes next to their primary fighter as well, because Richter and Simon, I think, are on that box.
And so is Daisy and Peach as well, and Chrom and Roy. Yeah, I see them. Dark Pit and Pit. Oh man. Actually, though, that's crazy. Yeah, I could definitely see what people probably did with this box art, and I honestly would say that that's not going to be the finalized box art either.
There's a good chance. We don't know. What was interesting a few weeks ago when the bundle leaked for just the Switch itself, that ended up being at least the same one Nintendo showed off at during the Direct. But maybe one of them's Well, I don't want to say. We've already fast forwarded through it.
Wait,
So
I
stopped myself just in time. Just in time in case it was the leaked character. So, but yeah, Isabel could fill the spot. There's who knows what we're gonna.
I didn't see Mario. Yeah, I don't see Mario. There's a lot of characters that aren't there actually.
Sure. Yeah, like I
said.
Oh
wait, it could be because they're in the front of the box actually.
Right.
Front of the box or the side, other side, or who knows?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was basically just Nintendo. Congratulations for the on your marketing here, because everybody was like, "There's 2 spots missing,"
They're so good at this too. They're so good at keeping everybody on that thread. Right. It's fantastic.
I love it. So, this was something we watched. I think it released a couple weeks ago. I'm not.
Yeah, it was.
It was
we were just slacking. We were slacking on it. We kept talking about it and forgetting to put it in our notes. So yeah.
The moment Crawler sent me the link, I was able to watch it at work. Kind of just I had to just kind of I had my Bluetooth headphones on. It was just kind of more listening than watching. But
same.
Rivalries: Zero versus Ally. Made by Finally James. We'll have a link to it in the show notes if you want to check it out. It's on YouTube. It's really cool.
It's amazing. I saw same here because I was doing a homework assignment. This term has been crazy for me, but I was doing a homework assignment while listening to the audio of the Rivalries documentary on Zero and Ally, and I honestly. It was amazing. It displayed perfectly, not just like Zero and Ally in total, though. It explained and displayed the Smash community as well as like at its most positive. It was a positive rivalry. It wasn't anything toxic or anything like that. Right. And I actually really enjoy like the crazy intense moments that they would have. They would always go back and forth with each other throughout the mid time of like Smash 4. Like Civil War was all about them. So when they included that in there, I was like, okay, like that was pretty hype. Yeah, no, finally James did a really good job at that. And I actually had no idea that documentary was in the making the entire time. Like, I was like, wow, this has been going on for a really long time. I had no idea.
Yeah, it's really, really worth a watch. So, highly recommend it.
I think it's about an hour long, but it was really good.
Yeah, yep, right around an hour. So, lastly, the Smash Ultimate Guide. The what is it? There's a collector's edition and a regular edition.
Correct.
The pre-order is up on Amazon. If you want to go through my affiliate link, it's just n64josh.com/smashguide. You can go check it out. Otherwise, just go search for it on Amazon. The collector's edition has like 159.
Yeah, it's like 354 versus like 205 or something like that on the regular. So it's got something in there. Who knows?
It's
hardbound
really
as well. I don't know what the price point difference is. I think when I pre-ordered it, it was 40, but then I saw a tweet today that said it was down to 30, and I double-checked my order, and Amazon adjusted the price. So it's down to 30 for the collectors right now.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so that's actually not bad.
No.
Yeah.
No. And that's Smash is like the only. I don't ever buy strategy guides, but I'm like, I'll definitely get one for Smash just because.
And those usually come with a digital copy as well, so you can have access to both hardbound and digital.
Yeah, which is super cool. So again, if you can type in n64josh.com/smash guide, it'll take you right to the listing on Amazon. That's it for news. Now we're gonna get to the Super Smash Bros. Blog, and we got
starting on Isabel.
So she's our. She was the next character release. You want to go ahead and read about Isabel there, Crawler?
Yeah, so this was on the 16th. So number 68 fighter is Isabel. So Isabel joins the battle from Animal Crossing New Leaf. She uses various trinkets from around the village to battle. Her side special fishing rod not only allows her to snag and bring opponents closer, it can also be used as a recovery move. So this kind of touches base on it kind of touches base on what we talked about last week with like Lucas to Ness with the snake tether and that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. So kind of Isabel to Villager is Ness to Lucas to Ness kind of.
And we're gonna talk a little more about Isabel at the end here. We're gonna keep moving. Shovel Knight is an assist trophy, which is so crazy that he is in Smash, right? Like this little 4-man team creates this game, and now they've sold over 1 million units of Shovel Knight, and their character is in one of Nintendo's biggest franchises of all time.
That's super hype. I wasn't expecting him to be a fighter, to be quite honest, but to see him as an assist trophy, I was like, okay, that must feel so good to know that, like, your small little team was able to put together a character that finally made it big, you know? Like, the character in general had gotten a lot of traction, was on the poll already for, like, the Smash 4 ballot characters, but the fact that, like, he now is in Smash Ultimate, although not as a playable character, but just there in general as an assist trophy, like, that's pretty hype.
Yeah.
But for $40, you can go play as him in Blade Strangers.
That's true. Yep. I unlocked him this weekend.
Very true.
So, and that game's pretty solid. So I recommend.
I've heard very good things about it, actually.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. So, here's what he's got: a line of characters just buried in the dirt behind him. Poor Wii Fit trainer. It says Shovel Knight assist trophy: blue armor, horns, and a shovel. That's right. It's Shovel Knight. With his trusty shovel blade, he can bury an opponent in the ground or throw rocks as he digs. He may even dig up some food. Oh, okay. There you go. A little bit of health there. So, okay, today's music is Happy Home Designer title theme. Enjoy the arrangement by Kazumi Totaka, a staff member from the original game. So I'm going to go ahead and play the music for us here right now. Here it is. So good.
I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that one because the start of that got me very intrigued.
So wait, did you say that was from Animal Crossing?
Happy Animal Crossing, Happy Home Designer.
What? Animal Crossing. All right, like, more like Animal Rocket. Yeah, someone said it actually. I was like, yeah.
Mythical One said the same thing. That's awesome. So I don't know what, like, did they hire a bunch of guys that used to play in 80s like glam bands or something? Like those harmonizing guitars, man, they're just singing together.
That was amazing.
Yeah, super cool. Super cool. All right. Today's stage. Vicky, do you have these in front of you?
I actually.
You say that again? It just cut out. Stinking Discord. Oh, maybe
so opened up
the blog. You got it open? You said.
Can you hear me?
It can now. Yep, there it is. Yep. It just
it
was literally cutting. It was like the worst possible cell phone thing. Like, can you hit?
Hello, wait. Discord. Yeah. I'm on. Where it says today's music.
Okay, so right above it, you want to go ahead and read us about the stage on the 18th?
Yeah, today's stage. Onett, Ness's hometown, has a drugstore in the middle and houses on either side. Watch out for the cars entering the stage from the right. They can hit you for 30% damage. What? That's a lot of damage. I actually, I know it has a lot of knockback, but I did not know it was exactly 30%.
That's no joke. That is no joke.
So I wonder on that stage, if you turn off hazards, are there just no cars? Or are they just going to drive right through you?
I think there would be no cars. Okay, I thought about this plenty of times, how they would make no hazards. I don't think it would be like an FD since there's an Omega stage list. Since there's Omegas and hazards off, I don't think it would be like Omega Onett, but I could see it be without the cars, or it would still be it'd still not be legal because of the walk-offs. But if it would be like this, probably without the cars.
You want to take the next one there, Nightcrawler?
Yep. So we got fighter number 23, Ganondorf. His new design matches his appearance in The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Now he uses his sword for all of his smash attacks. He's a bit slimmer than he was before, but his Warlock Punch is devastating. For his final smash, he transforms into Ganon, the Demon King, and quickly charges forward.
Ooh. All right, and the last character that they have given us from the 20th was Pikachu. Vicky, you want to take that one as well?
Oh yes, Pikachu, which is going to probably be one of the best characters in Smash Ultimate. Number 8, this Sphere Fighter uses electric moves like Thunder Jolt and Thunder. Pikachu Libre is one of the alternate costumes, and you can tell she's female by the shape of her tail. The little heart.
Yeah, the little heart.
Yep.
So
Josh learned that earlier this year. I learned that as well. I didn't know that either.
I learned that when they announced female Pikachu even being a thing, like it was just a heart-shaped tail. I thought they had a female Pikachu like in the very olden part of like the anime, and it was like a normal Pikachu with like a normal tail, but I guess they actually like distinguished it with the heart-shaped tail now.
So I don't know very much about Pokemon, so I'm gonna ask a quick question here. Is Pikachu his name or his like species?
Both.
Yeah, it's both. They say both. Like Pikachus are Pikachus.
Okay.
And they're not Pikamen. they're Pikachu. They're Pikachu.
Where's Kirby? She's gonna start shaking her head at you.
Like,
okay.
Butterfrees are Butterfrees. They're not Buttermen.
Okay. That's cool. I was just wondering, like, man, they call that one Pikachu all the time, and then they said there's female Pikachu. Like, now I'm really confused. Like, what?
But they also say their name to speak as well. So.
Yeah, that's their language too. They speak shouting out their own name, just in case you forget.
One day I'm gonna figure all this stuff out. One day. All right. So
Twitch was playing all the Pokemon for you to watch.
I guess I missed.
Yeah,
it.
they were.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I had a friend that was watching in real time. I couldn't watch any of them, but I heard really good things.
Rock Redford's mad because you played Yellow. You did play Yellow.
Yeah,
that was your first JRPG.
That was like before Vicky was born.
He's not wrong.
Wow, that's crazy to think about. That is, wow.
My first Pokemon was Red and Leaf Green, but that was specific. I wanted the games before then, but that was specifically because I was allowed to play Fire Red and Leaf Green at the time when it came out.
Gotcha. So I think I actually played it like when Game Boy Color came out. So it's like 2001, I think, is when I finally went through it. But might have been 99. So, all right, Vicky, you have had multiple hands-on with Ultimate, right? And I've seen some different tweets, some videos you've put out, things like that. And so just give us some impressions. Like, who have you played? Give us some impressions. I know you've tweeted out some possible combos and kill confirms, things like that. So where are you at?
Characters I've been able to dabble with hands-on have been Marth. I've played. What did I play? Bayo? I wasn't sure if I played Bayo. I think I played maybe a game with Bayo. I played Marth. I played Kirby. I played a little bit of Bayo, mostly Corrin. What other character? I did dabble a little bit with Inkling as well. And
I'm going to stop you real quick. What did you think of Inkling? Like, to me, I got a little bit of a Fox vibe from it. Like,
fast. I got literally just the definition of fast. The character is gonna have a lot of tech ability, I would say, like in terms of like I feel like the character is gonna have a high ceiling cap in terms of like skill, just because of the fact that I think the character could do a lot of interesting things just with the paint on the ground, putting paint on the opponent, taking advantage of the fact that they deals extra damage on the opponent. I forgot. I wrote down this on my notes. I forgot if it alters with knockback. I'm not too sure. I think it just has to do with the damage on the opponents when they have paint splattered on them. But in terms of like the movement could be increased if they put the paint on the floor and the actual Inkling moves faster and the opponent moves slower. So like I think just in general, I think that's gonna open up a lot of opportunities of like triplats. What are they gonna do on triplats? Are they gonna cover the spacing here by putting paint on the platform, covering any opportunity you have by the ledge, maybe cover the platform if you do land on it? They have a better way of reacting to it if you're gonna be slower, like stuff like that. I've played against a few few players / characters as well. Like I was able to play against Mistake. They played a Bayonetta against me for like an hour and a half when we were in Canada. And he's so ecstatic for Bayonetta because he thinks that Bayonetta is still super good, which he was still able to ceiling combo people. He told me himself that he thinks that SDI is like not prominent at all in the new game. Like it's there, but it barely makes a difference. And
Bayo's going to be completely different though than what it is in the demo, because Zachary was shaking his head when he saw MKLeo just destroy at the Invitational. So
I literally was like, "Oh, mistake! You can't ceiling combo people." I played Lima in Ultimate for like I want to say like 30 minutes at Evo, and he couldn't ceiling combo me. And he goes, "Girl, do you know who I am? I'm not Lima." I'm like, "Okay." And then he played me. I was like, "You know what? I don't even want to play against you anymore." It was so funny. But yeah, he was still able to do a lot of crazy things with Bayonetta, even in Ultimate. But nonetheless, the characters I was able to play against were like Snake, Pikachu, Cloud. I would say, honestly, not so diverse in what you would think, because of the fact that like a lot of the characters that people are waiting on aren't like the older characters. They're waiting to play Chrom. They're waiting to play the Belmonts. They're waiting to play Dark Samus. All these people. Now I'm waiting to play Isabel out here now. I played against Ridley as well. There's actually a video that will be uploaded soon, or unless XX already uploaded it. But I know Bam and I played. It was Ridley versus Kirby, which is the video actually that I showcase. I believe on my Twitter, where Kirby was able to do the down air into rock both on the ground and in the air. It seemed as if it was a confirm, which would open the possibility that now Kirby could potentially have kill confirms, because that was the biggest lackluster thing the character had. Now the character also has Kirby melee dash attack. So instead of in Smash 4 when Kirby would do a dash attack, he would spin his legs like in the air and like hit you while his hands are on the ground. And instead of that, in melee, he would literally rush forward as like a meteor ball with just on fire, and that's how he is in Ultimate now.
Okay.
So little changes to that. There's one of the things I would say I dislike in Ultimate, and I guess it has to do with familiarity, would be the fact that things don't seem as if they combo like they should. Example would be, I've played majority of the entire Ultimate demo with Corrin, because I do plan on playing Corrin in Ultimate. She's extremely different. Her pin does not work at all the same. Now instead of a punish tool, you actually have to use your brain. It's insane. I have to use my brain. But nonetheless, I actually have to like watch out when you use pin, because the move in general just has a lot of lag. You can't rise with it. Even if you kick, you land with a ton of lag, because you have to wait for her character model to lay down on the ground and then to physically get up before you could commit to another action. So that was a big nerf to her. So you have to play around that by now you could cancel pin. So to compensate over the fact that pin is just extra laggy, now you could actually drop from the pin. So you could hold pin, and instead of having to kick forward or jump up, you could just press down on the analog stick and Corrin just drops from her pin at any time. You can mix up the timing to it. You could also have pin as an active hitbox by a ledge. You could ledge cancel it a little bit easier, in my opinion, now, while staying grounded by the ledge. So like stuff like that, I would say have helped her out. But other than the fact that like Kirby and Corrin were mostly my main characters that I was able to dabble with in Ultimate, my biggest complaint for both characters was certain combos just didn't feel like they were still there anymore. So for example would be Kirby forward throw into fair, re-grab, forward throw into fair. Usually works on like midweight characters, midweight to heavier characters, and in Ultimate it doesn't even work like on DK. So I was like, that it works once, it works the forward throw into fair. That was the only thing that worked, but you couldn't get the re-grab and you couldn't get the next fair. Corrin, for example, she was able to get a single down tilt into a single up tilt, which is a true combo, and then she was able to go for a fair in Smash 4. In Ultimate, the most you would get would be down tilt once, up tilt once, and then one fair before you would have to actually like try to reach over for the second fair. You would have to see where your opponent's DIing for it to connect. So it's like, okay, so certain things, the knockback is what seems like it's off, in my opinion. I feel like that was the one thing that a lot of people talked about when E3 demo came out. After the Invitational, people's biggest complaint was knockback. And it wasn't until recently where, I guess as I got more comfortable with the controls, because we're not allowed to play on GameCube controllers.
Right.
We're only playing on Pro controllers, and we're not using our game tags, so we're not using our button layout that we usually do.
Yes.
So as I've been playing more, I've gotten used to what they've been giving us, and I could say like the knockback is definitely like one of the biggest things that I don't like. A character though that seems to benefit off of the new knockback in the game is Ike. I would say Ike is scary. Like he is. In general, he was already scary because he's basically a tank character, and the way they balanced that was his speed, his slow speed, and his slow aerial drift. But now in Ultimate, everybody's fast. Everyone could go anywhere, and I could do the same thing. So picture the same kill potential that he has, and all the kill power and the damage output he has, and then you add that with speed, and it's like he's a fast tank. He's about to hit you with that big sword, and it's gonna hurt. So I actually think he benefits greatly from resetting neutral, and the fact that he actually seems like he has a good amount of combos. Same combos as like Smash 4, but combos that also come out that like he forces you to be safe when you land back onto the ground, and especially since you can't air dodge now like you usually can in Smash 4, you have to be wary of where you're air dodging if you want to make it back to the stage.
Dekti says the controllers and button layout is so hard to get used to, and the grab on L is so weird. Like when I played it at PAX, I was like, what? I can't, like, I play this on my 3DS sometimes, right? You know, like I'm used to that, but then when I started playing, I had been playing so much on the GameCube controller and I hadn't touched the 3DS. I was like, how do I jump? What button does what? You know, like it threw me off. It really did. So Dekti says I just cannot grab.
Vicky, right now, do you do a lot of button mapping on your GameCube controller?
I do actually. So if I could display it, since my chroma key isn't on, you guys could actually see my controller. So the way I have my controller layout is this bumper trigger is not shield. It's actually special because it helps me do B reverses better. This back bumper, the other back bumper, is shield. I use my C stick with attack. I use Y for jumping because my tap jump is off. I use Y for jumping and X for grabbing. So yeah, you could just imagine the entire button mapping thing like that Nintendo had going on. Yeah, no. It's so different than what I was used to, at least. But as you play more, you just kind of like, you get the hang of it. Like short hop aerials was the easiest thing for me to get used to because you could jump with Y in the normal default controls. So I was able to do YA a lot easier, especially since in general short hop aerials was supposed to be implemented into the controller as a double button layout on purpose so that way it could be easier.
Did you find the short hop helped with Corrin?
With connecting or yeah, probably with her fairs, it would allow connecting fair a little bit easier as well. I would say that's going to help out any sword character, maybe even like Chrom, Marth. Like that was definitely like the go-to thing that I noticed.
So I want to go back a little bit on the combo conversation about things being a little tougher. Like Mario, obviously his down throw to up tilt is gone. Right?
Yeah.
But
yeah,
as a Mario main, I'm actually excited to see that thing's gone because it just felt so cheap. Like it felt like there were and once you start playing with more advanced players and things like that, they wouldn't get trapped in it quite as easy. But there are certain characters, especially heavy characters like Falcon or Donkey Kong. They were just trapped. They were not moving. You're going from 0 to 50 or higher, like, and I'm kind of glad to see that go and have to try to figure out something else. It's gonna be nice that the game's not identical to Smash 4. That we got to figure out new combos. We got to figure some new things out.
You know, I was thinking about like why did they do this, and I thought about the fact that SDI isn't prominent in this new Smash game. Like they made a note like that it wasn't. And those characters I would get comboed by, for example, Mario up tilt, Pikachu up tilt. The thing is with those characters, you would be able to try to like SDI as fast as possible to get out of them. Maybe SDI down to like mash, just SDI down and hold shield, and hopes that maybe shield will come out and you won't get caught in the tilt vortex, as I call it. And in Ultimate, since you can't do that, I can understand why they took out certain early combos where you would get trapped from 0 to 40%, and now since you're supposed to die earlier, that just you wouldn't be playing half of the game. Right. So that could be another reason. It could be more neutral based in terms of resetting neutral now as well. So I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I'm down. Mr. Cool Red Luigi says the 1,000-year up tilt is what it's what he calls it. So okay, well we're gonna wrap this thing up with just give us some tips going into Smash in general, local scene. Like just best advice for somebody that's like, hey, I'm completely new, because I know there's a lot of people that listen to this that are in my Discord and stuff that are like, this is my first Smash since 64. This is my first Smash ever. Like just some best piece of advice you can give them.
So this is gonna seem like not like something crazy that it seems so simple, but it's honestly one of the most helpful advice that I've heard and I've taken into consideration. Asking for advice, talking and being social in your community, that is probably one of the most important things, because without being verbal, without being communicative to your formal scene members, like your community members, you won't learn what you're doing wrong. So finding out what you're doing wrong is the first thing you want to do, because if you're getting into a competitive game, you want to start somewhere. And if you don't know where that somewhere is, how are you going to get better? So I would say be social, be comfortable with getting to know people in your community. That's how you're going to grow as a player, and that's how you're going to make friends. That's the whole point of a community, is to make friends. So be more open to talking to people. Practice. Now that online services are going to not be as laggy and as unbearable as it is on the Wii U, on the Nintendo Switch.
Hopefully.
I've heard really good things, so I'm hoping. But nonetheless, like I'm seeing that the Nintendo Switch is having great outcome with their internet services. So I'm hoping that Ultimate is going to be able to be playable against people that are going to be playing online. So online practice is definitely going to be bearable now for people to practice on. So now there's no, and it's a Switch. You can take it on the go anywhere. As long as you got Wi-Fi, you should be good. At least good Wi-Fi. Don't hurt your opponents with bad Wi-Fi.
That's the best advice right there.
You want to make sure that you get in a good amount of practice, because getting a feel for the character that you want to play, you may think to yourself, I know this character. I know the bread and butter to this character. I know how to get 40% on someone without taking damage. Like, I'm super good with this character. Believe it or not, there's a difference between knowing a character and knowing how to move your character. And I think movement is one thing that slowly creeps up on you as a player, where you kind of get a realization where, like, wow, I could do things with this character and make it look faster. And you don't really notice that until you practice movement. So I would say practice movement in the game, especially in a game where everything's going to be different in terms of speed, in terms of fall speed, in terms of aerial drifts, like all that stuff, like ground speed. You know, I know that you also, Nightcrawler, you play Corrin. You now know that Corrin is a lot faster in Ultimate than she is in Smash 4. That's going to be way different in our playstyle, because now we're going to be able to do Dragon Fang Shot into actual punish, because in Smash 4, when they nerfed Corrin's run speed, you couldn't do that. So little things like that, movement and stuff like that, definitely try to practice movement, aside from just your bread and butter combos. When you get into, when you get Ultimate for the first time, don't worry about what a character could do in terms of combo. What character is the best? Play a character that you feel suits your play style and see where it goes from there. See what you're comfortable with, because anyone can make a character look good. There are low-tier heroes out there, and they didn't know their character was garbage when they first started playing it, but they still make the character work, right? Example would be Prince Ramen playing Palutena in Smash 4 and beating the best player in the world, Zero, at CEO. So, you know, it's very doable. If you're comfortable with your character and you feel like you can be the best of your character, then just keep practicing. Practice, be communicative, talk to your scene, find out what you could do better, and nonetheless, find where your scene is. I think that's the most important thing. Find where your scene is. If you don't know where your scene is, go on Facebook, look up your town, look up Smash 4 or Smash Ultimate next to your town name, and you'll be surprised how many people live around the area that can help you with rides. Obviously, get to know these people, get to know their parents or families, all that stuff that can help you out with rides. Hey, you know, you gotta let them know.
You gotta put that disclaimer out.
Gotta make sure you know whose car you're getting into. Make sure your parents are comfortable with it. Don't sneak around. And yeah, just get to these locals, meet other players within your state, within neighboring states, and you'll be surprised how many friendships come out of it, how many opportunities you'll be able to achieve going to these out-of-state tournaments as well, with these new friendships and stuff like that, and how far you'd progress as a player, because this also opens up the door to learning different matchups with different characters.
And I want to piggyback on that a little bit, because like this last 2 weeks, I have played Smash every day for the last 2 weeks, and my movement has been far better than it's ever been, right? And I've had people like Snake Madness has been in my stream. He's like, he messaged me last weekend. He's like, "Can we jump in Discord real quick?" I'm like, "Yeah. What's up?" He's like, I want to talk to you about movement. I want you to do foxtrot and dash dancing and just start to get that down." And so all week. I spend like a half hour in training with a bot that doesn't move, just working on my movement, trying to get my back airs down better, trying to master this foxtrot, which is so difficult. Like I'm never gonna get this thing. But
what happened this morning with that bot, Josh?
Oh, that
bot that doesn't move.
That killed me. Yeah, he killed me. But I mean, it's been that very thing. People coming into the stream like, hey, you should try this combo, right? Because they see that I'm just in training. It's not like they're, oh, hey, you're in 4 glory, try this combo. That's not going to help me. I'm going to be like, I'm not going to pull off any combo right now. But it's been really cool just seeing so many people that want to help. And that's really been what I've noticed in this community as a whole. In the Discord, we have all different levels of players. And everybody is just like, hey, practice this, work on this. How can I do this? And it's been great. So, Vikki, we've taken up more of your time than I wanted to. We're cutting into your stream time. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no problem. I actually end my stream around this time, and I did tell my Discord preemptively. I told them, hey guys, just an announcement, at 5 p.m. Eastern time, I will be on N64's Josh's podcast. If you guys want to tune in, that is going to be my stream for the day. So that's actually, I'm pretty sure Deck T saw that notification.
Okay.
So hey, Deck T. I know some people were able to check it out, and this is actually going to be my stream for the day. Not a problem, man. I greatly appreciate you having me on here as always.
Well, tell us all the places that people can follow you, like your Twitch, Twitter, all that stuff.
Yeah, for sure. So if you guys want to follow me on Twitch, I do stream every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays in the late afternoon. Mondays and Wednesdays, I believe it is going to be from 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. And then on Fridays, I actually stream from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. And you can find me there at twitch.tv/VikkiKitty, just as you see it spelled down there in this awesome layout that Josh got for me. And yeah, from there, you guys can follow me also on Twitter. I do have a Twitter, twitter.com/VikkiKitty_ at the end of my tag. Other than those 2 spots, I feel like that's the best way to reach me.
Awesome. Crawler, where can we find you, bud?
You guys can find me on Twitter, Nightcrawler724, Nightcrawler without the E. Also on Twitch, I've been slacking a little bit lately. Need to get back going on that. But it's twitch.tv/Nightcrawler724, same as Twitter. And then the biggest spot, just hanging out in Josh's Discord, spreading fake news, all that kind of stuff. N64josh.com/Discord. Come hang out there, and I've gotten my fair share of harassment this week, so come lay it on.
Vikki has a great Discord as well. Like, I think I was one of the first ones in there once it started. So.
Oh yeah, the Kitty fan. I do have a Discord as well. I don't think it's an open invite though, but when you tune into my streams, I do have an open link, like lingering around in the chat that the bot always reminds other people they want to ever join in.
Cool. Awesome. Guys, you can be able to follow me on Twitter at N64Josh. You can follow this show at Smash Bros Cast. The show notes for this episode will be n64josh.com/SBC27. If you want to get yourself a free book from Audible, help support this show, go to audibletrial.com/SBC. Pick up Console Wars, something awesome. The chair I'm sitting in is from OPSeat. Go to n64josh.com/OPSeat to automatically save $10 at checkout. And if you're enjoying this show, leave us a review on iTunes. We would greatly, greatly appreciate it. If you got any feedback, anything like that, my DMs on Twitter are open. If you want to get involved in the Discord, you can go to n64josh.com/Discord. And there's, a lot of good people in there. We've been having a great time. And I do have another podcast, the Nintendo Powercast. You can check that out on iTunes and Google Play. And the music you're hearing right now is the Metal Melee theme. You can check that out at n64josh.com/Metal Melee. It'll take you right to a YouTube video. Thank you guys so much for being here with us live. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode.